Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking about solving cross on the bottom and also some other advanced cross techniques. So the reason that you want to solve cross on the bottom is, first of all, if you solve it on the top, you have to do a double cube rotation, which if you avoid that you can eliminate a little bit of time. And also a reason I think is more important is that it's a lot easier to look for your first F12 pair when the cross is on the bottom than when you're solving it on the top. So that eliminates a big gap if you can find a pair, even if you haven't planned it. If you can find one, then it eliminates that pause in between cross and the first F12 pair that tends to be detrimental to a lot of people. So there's another advantage. So the only main difference from solving it on top to bottom is, of course, you're not going to be able to see the pieces as well, but instead of U moves, it's just D moves, and the rest is the same. I guess orientation wise, you'll be doing both anyways, pretty much, so it doesn't really matter. So some techniques to think about are, you want to avoid F and B moves as much as you can, and the reason for that is they require a regrip of the cube to do those moves. So as you can see, if I want to do these moves, it requires me to pick up my hand, move it to a different position to essentially do a U-turn, but just in a different orientation. So you want to avoid those as much as possible. Another thing you can do is you can solve your pieces off center. So I'll give an example of that here. So as you can see, this green is, I guess, properly oriented, just needs to be moved over one move like that. So what you can do is you can solve multiple pieces in off center, and then just do like a D move basically and align them all at the same time. So here you can see that this is aligned properly, and this one could easily be aligned properly in one move. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna preserve this up here, and I'm simultaneously aligning this and then aligning this with the green, so blue and green are opposite, and then I can solve the blue and the green together and then just bring these two pieces down. So there's an example of how you can use it like that. Really, it's pretty much all logical. You just learn things as you go along. I'm going to try not to go too in depth and confuse people, but just you can do things like that. I also should mention that solving the cross on the bottom isn't always the best case. Sometimes solving it on the front is easier, because instead of so these four axes which get used the most, if you're solving it with cross on the front, they're easier moves to do, so L, R, U, and D, which require no regrips. So that's how cross on front can be faster than cross on bottom, and it still gives you a little bit of visibility for the F12 pairs. So just keep in mind, cross on front is definitely an option, and it can be faster than cross on bottom depending on the case. So now I'm just gonna do some examples to try to help people with what they're doing and their cross building. So so this is already oriented, and then I can orient this with one move, and then these two are off center equally. So what I can do is I'm gonna move this up, and then simultaneously I'm gonna move this down and bring this up. Then I'll solve this, and then so these two are off center by a 1 on the top, so just do a U move and then solved. Alright, next case. So I'm solving these all on white. I am color neutral, but most people aren't, so that's why. Okay, so here I'm probably gonna do on the front, just because of this F move here that I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna bring this up, the blue, and then solve it off center with the green, and then solve the orange off center. And at this point I'm just gonna bring it back up to on the bottom. So as you can see, you can just switch from front to bottom pretty easily. I'm just gonna do a D move, actually a double D move, to avoid an F turn for the red. Insert the red off center and just move it back. So there, it just took an extra move, but it's probably quicker to do that, to avoid that F move. And it also can give slightly better visibility for F2L. Alright, this case here, alright, these two are already solved. That's easy. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down, solve these two off center, and then move over and solve those two. So that was pretty simple. And then this one, I'm going to solve off center again. So move this over, solve off center, solve off center, solve off center, move over one, solve off center, move over another one, and solve. So you can solve off center in different orientations also. Okay, so hopefully you learned some things from this, and hopefully you'll be able to, with some practice, solve cross on the bottom / front, depending on the case. And I'd just like to thank you for watching. This video was requested by somebody in the comments, so if you have any video ideas or something you want to see, something you want to learn about, go ahead and put it in the comments and I will definitely consider it. So once again, thank you for watching.